Welcome, fellow bookworms, to Tipper's Den. My name is Whitney, and today is not going to be my normal chatty video. So I didn't post a video last week, and it's just been a bit crazy around here. Redid my library, which I did do a community post about that. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. But we also did the other room because I am selling books on eBay now, and I really needed more space for that as well. And my library just needed a revamp. It was getting kind of messy and it was getting hard to find books because I have a lot of books. And I do want to preface this video by saying I know I have a lot of books. The majority of my books are thrifted. There's a handful of authors that I buy new from to help support them, and plus I'm just excited about their new releases. But for the most part, I thrift my books. And my goal is not necessarily like these books aren't all books that I want to get to right now. Like there's some that, yes, are on my priority TBR list that I want to get to soon. But other than that, my goal is to have a varied library of books that I'm interested in. And it will be years before I get to some of these. And that's okay. I just want a variety of books and the option. I want a library in-house where I can browse around. It's not just books that I have enjoyed or authors that I know I love. It's just books I'm interested in, frankly. But I did do a massive unhaul as well. I've unhauled 213 books. A lot of those are older books that I've just been hanging on to, like my grandma gave me all her Danielle Steele, which I did unhaul a lot of those a while ago, but I kept ones that I sounded interested that sounded interesting to me. Same with Dean Koontz. My sister gave me her whole collection. I unhauled a bunch and kept a bunch that I just thought sound interesting. And now I just have a handful of both of those authors, and then just other books like I don't even know where they came from, or like looking at them realistically, like even if they got on a TBR, was I really going to read them? Was I excited to read them? If I came across them in the wild, would they be a book I would pick up? Because I do thrift a lot, and so I needed to make the choices, and I'm really happy with how everything turned out. So this room now where I'm at is my library, and then in the spare room we've been meaning to go through like the closet and such for years, so we went through that. My hair's being crazy. We did go through there, which took a lot. The living room still a little messy. We unhauled a lot, like to throw away and to donate. So that was nice to finally go through that. Rearranged everything there. My eBay books are in there. My husband's books are in there. And then a handful, like my horse books, my Irish Johansson books, those are all in there. And I will show you that as well. And so, yeah, it's just been, this month has been kind of all out of whack. I do have a collection of books that I did read. A lot of them I either listened to or they're really short. Like I had some manga and some middle grade, a couple young adult, and then the rest I kind of listened to. And so it has been, like I've been consuming books, but not in my typical fashion. The book I'm on right now is taking me quite a while. I just, haven't, there's been several days I haven't read at all because my focus has been elsewhere, and that's fine. There's no time limit on my TBR this year. It's just kind of as I either read the books or I decide, you know what, I'm not feeling that right now. I'm going to put it back on the shelf and play a new round. And so the books I have left are all books I'm still really interested in, and they're probably just going to spill over into August, and that's fine because this was much, much needed. And I'm very happy. I like my space is all organized. The spare room's nice and organized. I have a space to do my eBay stuff now. The living room still needs a little bit of work, but my husband was able to load the stuff to donate in his car today. So that's finally gone, and he took the trash today as well. So all the trash and such is finally gone as well. So just a few more things. We have a big picture we need to hang, but I need to do that with him. And I have a box of Breyer horses, which I'm actually going to put up like on the shelves. So they'll be in here. They're not here right now, but they will go in here. And I'm excited because they've been boxed up since before we moved, honestly, because I didn't have space for them in my old place either. And so I'm excited to go through those guys and get them out. I love my Breyer horses, and that'll be nice to have them. So that's kind of it. Just been crazy around here because my space has been in upheaval. Like my autistic brain is really like, eh. And then the internet's been out for the last couple of days. It finally came back on today. And so that kind of set me off. I had a dentist appointment, which was out of my, routine. And so I've just been kind of a mess autistically lately, but I'm happy with the space and I'm happy I have it done. So I'm going to turn you guys around and we're going to go shelf by shelf and I'm going to show you what my books look like. And again, just to preface, I have a lot of books, but my goal is a large and varied library to choose from. Not all of these are on my immediate TBR. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, the majority of my books are thrifted because I know, there's been a lot of talk about overconsumption in the bookish community lately, which is a problem. But to me, you're supporting authors, so if you want to buy those books, buy those books. But yeah, let me get you guys turned around and we'll get to the tour. So I'm actually going to start with, I have 2 TBR carts. This gray cart right here is just like odds and ends, which I'm not going to show you those. It's a mess down there. But on top here are the books that I've read. Right now I do have one book missing because I listened to it and then I ordered a physical copy, so that's on its way. But this is what I've read so far. In the month, I'm going to end up doing a wrap up for July, like a full wrap up, and I'll talk about all the books I read. And then if we span over here, this is my still I need to read. So this is my current month's TBR up top, and then I put any books that I want to get on next round's TBR on the second shelf, and then the bottom's just kind of open for whatever. So right now I have 3 books. One's my family book club, the other's gonna wrap up a series for me, and the other ones I just recently got I'm really interested in. So there's that. Let me move these out of the way. Harvest season sprayed edges. Whoop, it fell over. These books right here are my 24 Days of Bookmas books. So they're already wrapped and ready to go, even though I know it's early. And then some books for Christmas presents for family members. So there's that. Run those over. All right. And we're going to start up top here. So I have 4 new shelves, which are all over here. And so up top on this one, so they are alphabetical by letter, but not alphabetical within that letter, if that makes sense. Because I thrift most of my books, they're all different sizes, and so it just kind of needed to be what worked best for it to fit, because otherwise I would not have had enough room for the books. So up top we have Little Women, and so this is my original edition of Little Women. And then after I read that, I did get the other 2. I thrifted those, and then I recently found this edition of Little Women, and I just think it's really pretty, so I snagged it as well. Then we have the Divine Comedy. These are in really rough shape, but I was excited to find all 3, and then I just have the one that I have read as well. Aesop's Fable, some Jane Austen, and Tales from 1001 Nights. So that's up there. We'll go ahead and just do the whole top row. So continuing over, I have all my Carissa Broadbent, probably one of my favorite authors right now. The Grishaverse, and then The Familiar, by Leigh Bardugo. My Travis Baldree books. I haven't read Brigands and Bread Knives yet, but I'm planning on reading that this autumn. Libba Bray, I might end up unhauling those, but I still need to read King of Crows, so we'll just see. What's her name? Sorry. Hafsa Faisal. I have those 2. We free the flame and we hunt the flame and we free the stars. Sorry. Then we have my Red Rising books. I have the original trilogy, which I have read. Haven't read Iron Gold yet, and honestly, I'm really happy with these. So I may or may not continue on with the series. We'll just have to see. Then, of course, Adeline Grace, Heather Fawcett, and my Ink Heart books, and then The Thief Lord by that same author down there as well. So we'll scan back over here. And so, yeah, up top, I do like having books that face forward. I'm going to play around with these a little bit more, but I like having books that are just facing out so things fall apart. And then back behind there, we have the Melissa Albert duology there and just a variety of other books. And then over here we have Sarah Addison Allen. Sarah Hart's book, read this one, and not typically her type of book, but she really enjoyed that. So I'm excited to eventually get to that. And then I have other birds as well. That's actually an art copy. And then the rest behind there are just my Isabel Allende books, and then 2 hardcovers that just fit in right there. So yeah, I've only actually read by Isabel Allende, this trilogy, and then the stories of Eva Luna, but I've been collecting her works. So there's that. Then we come down here, we have Tuesdays with Morrie, which I'm excited to eventually read, Lloyd Alexander, and then a couple just random books there. Well, just one, because this book is also part of that trilogy as well. Or not trilogy, that series, sorry. Definitely not a trilogy. Then I did have a lot more VC Andrew books, and I ended up unhauling them. This is the original series that I read by VC Andrew. It's the Hudson Family series. My sister had it, and I remember reading it as a teenager. So I ordered them last year, but I haven't had a chance to read them. And then I'm really interested because most of the VC Andrews books are actually ghostwriter, but Flowers in the Attic is not. So I really want to read that. So I still have that as well. I actually got this one from a little free library, so that was a fun find. I love anything animal nature related. And then I have my Catherine Applegate and my Catherine Arden. There's a space here because the other 2 books I did read this month, and so they'll go right there. Then down here, we have my Sarah Adams books. I've only read When in Rome so far, but I'm very excited to get to the others as well. And then down here, we have Danielle Allen, which I've read all 3 of those. Haven't read the Lauren Asher books yet, or the Fiance Dilemma, but I have read the Winter Night trilogy, again by Catherine Arden. Absolutely love it. And then next to those, we have Alex Astor, so the Lightlark series. So I have all of those. I've only read the first 2 so far. And then we have my Olivia Atwater, and then just a couple of variety. I do really like, if you're into like Christian fiction or biblical fiction, these 2 were really good by, I forget her first name, but Afshar. Really, really good books. So that's something. Then we're going to go ahead and sit while we talk about these next books. So we have Amari and the Knight Brothers and the rest of that series, and I am planning on getting the 4th book for my birthday. I have not read them yet, but I know I'm going to absolutely love them, and so I'm very excited to have those. I have the first 2 in paperback, and then I'll have hardback. It doesn't bother me to have them not match, so that's fine. Then we just have a variety of other books, the Born Free and the Lifetime with Lions, and then just, like I said, a variety of books. And then back behind that one, we have the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. So we have that back there. And then behind that one, we have the rest of those. So again, I haven't read them yet, but I'm very interested in them. So I'm glad I've been picking them up as I come across them. Then down here, we have Horse by Geraldine Brooks, which I'm very, very excited about. I can't wait to read that one. And then again, just a variety. Novola, my husband got me this year for Christmas, so I'm excited to have that. And then I haven't read CJ Box yet, but I'm very interested in reading CJ box, so I've been collecting them as I come across them in little free libraries and at the thrift store. So those are there. And then Dances with Wolves, and I think it was Track of the Cat I read, and then I have Flashback. Those ones are ones that I just had, like somebody gave them to me, but I really enjoyed Track of the Cat when I read it, so I kept both of those. And then Wuthering Heights, which I hated, but I'm going to keep it, and Jane Eyre's back there, and The Deep, which is the author of Jaws, Peter Benchley. So I have The Deep. And then The Sound of a Wild Snail Eating, I really enjoyed that one as well. That's a nonfiction. And then, sorry about my finger. So down here, on the edge there, let's see here, right there, the edge, we have How to Live with a Neurotic Dog and How to Live with a Neurotic Cat. I love those two. I haven't read them yet, but I just like the titles and the picture on the front. And then we just have a variety of books. And then we have a Glenn Beck book, which I haven't read, which is like a historical nonfiction up at the very top there. And then next to it, we have his Christmas books. The Immortal Nicholas is definitely my favorite. I love that one. And then just a random assortment of books, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, the Sisters Grimm, and Tales of the Frog Princess down there as well. Then we're going to go back up here to the second shelf. So we have my Megan Bannon books. I love this whole series. I've read The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy twice. I love the artwork, the colors. I think they're such pretty books. So there's those. I'll just slide them down here, or I'll just hold them actually. They're going to fall. And then just another variety, some Christmas books by Jenny Bayliss. Out on a Limb, really enjoyed. I haven't read A Natural History of Dragons yet, but I'm excited to get to it. The Holly Black books, I found those in the little free library, which was a great find. And then I loved Skin of the Sea and Soul of the Deep. Those were really good books. My Frederick Bachman books, and then B.K. Borison, some more Christmas books, and just a couple other random books. So those are fun, and I really like this shelf. All books I really enjoy or I'm excited to get to. Then we have this one, which I just came across, and I'm excited to give it a try. I love the cover. That was kind of more of a cover buy for me. Then we have a variety of hardbacks and then some paperbacks. But just kind of a variety of books there as well. A Lot's Away I've read, really loved, and then I have not read A Snake Falls to Earth yet, but I'm excited to get to it. I'll probably try to read this in November. I try to read like more Indigenous books in November. And just a couple variety, and then my Octavia E. Butler books that I have. Kindred was such a good book. So was Parable of a Sower as well. And then we just have, again, just a variety of books. Most of these I have not read yet, but I have read The Weird Sisters, Wild Women in the Blues, which was a gift from Michelle, reading on my breaks, I want to say. And I have read Fahrenheit 451 as well. So there's that shelf. Then we come down, and this was a book from my childhood when my mom worked for the horse trainer. That was one of the books we had. It's a little worse for wear on the corner there, but that's okay. We have Robert Beatty, which I've only read the first Serafina book, but I really enjoyed it, and I've heard really good things about Willa of the Wood, so I'm excited to get to that. The Wild Robot, such a cute book. I read The Dragon with a Chocolate Heart, loved it, can't wait to continue the series. And then the first two books in the insignificant events in the life of a cactus, and then momentous events in the life of a cactus. Disability rep, middle grade, really good. I haven't read the Beat I Drum yet though. So there's those. Then we have The Incredible Journey, which I love that movie. So when I saw the book, I had to snag it. And then next to that, we have Alan Brennert, which I've only read Molokai, which is about like a leprosy colony. Really, really good. So I picked up these other two books. Excited to try those. Middle Grade by Carolee Barnhill, which I just think I'm going to love, so I can't wait to read. This one my husband got me for Christmas. The Master and Margarita, really, really good. I actually got that as a blind book, and so wild and crazy, but I absolutely loved it. And then behind that, we have um, Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey, I read for Christmas. The other three I have not. We have When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill, which is an adult one, R.J. Barker, and then a couple of more historical ones up top there. So excited to have all those. Then we're going to come down here. And so I do have Heartless Hunter, and I actually have the second book. I bought it from a Pingo seller. And so that's on its way. So that will go right in front as well. And then The City of Brass by Janet, well, I say Sharkabordy, but yeah, happy to have that one as well. And then we have The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. That series is right there. And then just a couple of other books, some Agatha Christie, which I'm not a big Agatha Christie fan, but I love the cover of Halloween Party. And I haven't tried Miss Marple. I'm not a fan of Hercule Poirot. But I thought I might try Miss Marple and see if I like it better. Vampires of El Norte, love that one. Haven't read The Hacienda yet, but I plan on doing that. I do have another Zoraida Cordova book, which I actually need to bring down. I think I'm going to switch City of Brass with the other Zoraida Cordova book, because I have the other Shannon Chakraborty books up there, but I haven't done that yet. But I have those three down here. Love the Walk on Earth a Stranger. I forget what the series name is, but that was such a great series. And then just a couple other by Roshani Chokshi. And so I have those ones. If I'm mispronouncing, it's been a rough month, and so I am struggling with words and such. So just excuse any mispronunciations or anything. Then this next shelf, I don't have any in front yet, but I definitely will at some point. And so I have my Darcy Coates and just some others there. Peel My Love Like an Onion. I actually saw that at the thrift store and left it, and then I just kept thinking about it. When I put it back, it was still there, so I snagged it. The Finley Donovan books, I stopped at number 4. I don't think I'll get the 5th one, because to me it ended on a good note on number 4, and anything past that, it's just them drawing it out just for money purposes in my mind. I think the series ended on a really good spot at number 4, and so I'm not really interested in anything else. And then I have Gone Before Goodbye, which I really enjoyed. And my husband had the other 2 Harlan Coben books, and so I'm excited to try those. And then again, just a variety of books there. And then we come down and we have Susanna Clark. I haven't read either one of those yet. The Passage by Justin Cronin, I'm excited to try that, but it is a chunky book. My mom loves Jackie Collins, and so this is the only book. She had given me a couple of them, but this is the only book I kept. I read one other and didn't love it, so I went ahead and hauled it. But this one does sound interesting to me. Some Diane Chamberlain, and then a couple of dark romance, and then we move over. And again, we just have a variety of books down there. Some James S. A. Corey and Kristen Kishore. So that's fun. We're going to go back up. And like I said, City of Brass will probably come on this shelf to be with the others. And then this Zoraida Cordova will go down there, because I just didn't think about it. So we have The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. The second book is on my list to read. And so it will come up here as well. And then we have some Blake Crouch, some romance, historical romance, some classics there, and just a couple of other things. And same thing, scanning over. I really am excited to get to Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. Everybody talks about that series, so I'm excited to get to it. And then again, just a variety of books here. Love Montstrolio. My sister and I read that and talked to her about it together. Next shelf, we have The Book Eaters by Sun Dean. I know not everybody loved this, but I really enjoyed it. And I've heard good things about The Girl with a Thousand Faces. So I'm going to try to get this on my September TBR. Behind that, we just have a couple of different ones. Sarah Douglas, Anthony Doerr, The Hunger Stone by Kat, or just Hunger Stone by Kat Dunn. I'm planning on rereading Carmilla in October and then reading that one because it's based on that. And then my Hilary Duff books, which I talked about those in a video, and so if I remember, I'll try to link it down below. But yeah, have those. Rebecca, I haven't read yet, but I want to read that as well. My husband got me The Queen's Assassin for Christmas, and then I came across the second book, and the brothers Karamazov. And then we have my Caitlin Doty books, which I love her YouTube channel. Unfortunately, YouTube keeps demonetizing her videos, so we haven't been getting as many. But I loved all three of these books. And then, again, just a variety. Loved Vita Nostra, but I don't think I'll continue the series at all. So, yeah, that's that shelf, that back. Then the next shelf, we have my Legendborn books, so excited to have those. I've read the first two. I still need to read Oathbound. I waited until it came out in paperback, and so I am excited to get to that. Of course, we have all the Ice Planet Barbarian books, and then just a couple of other random books there. And then again, just a variety of books that just sounded interesting to me. And then over here, Mandarin Orange Sunday was a book my mom had. I've read it twice now. B.J. Daniels, I was supposed to read that series last year, never ended up getting to it. And then, of course, The Horse Whisperer is a movie I really loved, so I'm excited to read that at some point. And then just a couple of other books there. And going down. So these Spy Family books, they'll eventually kind of change because right now I only have the four, but I do plan on getting the whole series, and so those will probably live somewhere else at some point. But for right now, they're just there. I've read the first three, still need to read the fourth. Back behind here, I do need to change this up a little bit because the first book in this series I've read, and so it's not here, and I didn't leave a space for it. So I do need to change that up. I do have the 13th Reality series by Dashner, which was the author of Maze Runner. But this series sounds more interesting to me. And then, of course, the Mirror Visitor series, loved book one. Can't wait to jump into the next book, and just a couple of other books up there. Then we have this book and my Dickens books, so that's fun. And then again, just several other books. Really excited to get to James. I loved You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Kweki Emezi, and so I can't wait to read Pet and Bitter. Really excited for those. Then coming down, we have Richard Paul Evans, and then a couple of Christmas books there, and then Dark Horse was another one that I don't know where it came from. I just had it, but I actually have read that one and I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to keep it. And then just again, a variety of books. 1000 White Women, such a good book. It's speculative, but it was really good, so I enjoyed that. And recently got this series, and it just sounds fun, so I'm looking forward to reading that at some point. And yeah, and then just a variety of books there. And then all the way down at the bottom, it's just a mixed bag. So just a bunch of books that just sound interesting to me. A couple I've read, most I have not. And then over here we have Ken Follett, the Century Trilogy, which I'm really interested in. And then I came across Never when we were in Tucson, and it just sounds interesting, so I grabbed that. The Tenets of Time was a really good book by Thomas Flanagan. So have a lot of memories attached to that. Then we're going to go back up here, and we have Morbidly Yours, which I loved, and then Heartstrings, which I have not read yet, but I'm excited to get to. We have the Neapolitan series by Elena Ferrante. I read My Brilliant Friend. I was on the fence about unhauling these, but I don't know that I will. I'm still interested in reading them, so they're here for now. And then, yeah, just a variety of books. There's some nonfiction, Gillian Flynn, and then over here we have Carly Fortune and just a couple of other ones. Killer of Witches, I believe I read this for an ABC challenge and absolutely loved it, so that's there as well. And then David Gran, I'm really interested in reading The Wager. So I'm hoping I can actually get to this within the next couple months. I read My Sergei by Katerina Gordieva every year in December, so I love that one. And then just a couple of my husband talked me into getting this one. And then these ones I'm interested in as well. There's another David Gran. And then a memoir, My Life with Sea Turtles, that I'm excited about as well. So there are those. Put these two back. Coming down, we have The Princess Bride, which was a big disappointment for me, but I still love the movie, and I loved aspects of that. And then just a variety. So we have some thrillers, some more literary, sci-fi. This was such a good book. Annie Bot, I absolutely loved it. This one I haven't read yet, but I love, again, anything animals. Invictus I really enjoyed. Yeah, just a variety of books there. Have The Christmasaurus by Tom Fletcher, which is such a cute book. And again, just some random books there that I'm interested in reading. An old Zane Grey book. And then we have some Rachel Griffin, Rachel Gillig, Dowry of Blood, I'm really hoping to get to this October. Love, Into the Drowning Deep. And then just a couple other books there that I'm excited to get to. Then down here, this is the only Ellen Hildebrand I have. I had a couple others, but I just didn't think I was going to read them, and I just love the title of this. It makes me think of the song. And so I decided I would keep this one, and I come across her all the time, so if I really enjoy this, it's easy to pick up more of her books. So there's that one. I'm going to move that down. This one is going to be for Christmas next year, because I recently hauled it, and I did hear somebody talking about this last year, and it just sounded so much fun. And I believe it's like a fake dating situation between these two, and then she ends up falling for the sister who does have disability reps, so that's exciting as well. Shark Heart, absolutely love that book. I wasn't expecting to love it. It's not in a format I typically enjoy, and it just wrecked me. So there's that one. We'll move it over here. And yeah, again, just a variety. I have read It's the End of the World, My Love by Alla Gorbanova. Found that at a little bookstore in El Paso, Texas. And really, like, lots of trigger warning, like really explores like the dark parts of humanity, but really, really good. And then just a variety of books. I don't think I've read anything else on this stack, but all books I'm really interested in getting to. Let It Snow, I read last Christmas, really enjoyed that. Have Water for Elephants, and then a couple other by Sarah Gruen, Memoirs of a Geisha, which I want to get the book. There's another book that's much better than this that this was kind of based on, so I want to get that book eventually. And then this book I just found, and I thought it was interesting looking, so I grabbed it. And then, of course, we got some romance over here. So there's space because I have two of the Laurie Gilmore books out, so I left space for those, of course. And move these back up here. Then coming down, we have The Horseman, or just Horseman by Christina Henry. And The Mermaid behind there I have read, but I have not read Horseman yet. I'm excited to get to it. Alan Gratz, I am very excited to try. Spy School, haven't read those yet, but very excited to try. The Outside by Ada Hoffman, I really need to get to that one. Their Eyes Was Watching God was really good. Silent Night by Mary Higgins Clark was. I read several Mary Higgins Clark last year for Christmas, and that's the only one I kept because I really enjoyed it. Then, of course, we have the Iliad and the Odyssey, which took me forever to read. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, and more romance. So we have the Helen Huang, which has autism rep, which is really good. Of course, Ali Hazelwood, Cody Hall. I have the next two books in the series in the stack for this Christmas, which is why I left room. And then, of course, Talia Hibbert, which also has autism rep, which is fantastic. Then we come down, we have The Sirens by Amelia Hart and Quicksilver by Callie Hart out in front here. And then down here, again, just a variety of books. Haven't read most of these other than 2 of the Jane Harper books, which I really enjoyed. So I'm looking forward to finishing that series with Exile and then reading that other book, The Lost Man, by that author. Then some Anthony Horowitz, Laura Hillenbrand. I loved The Unbroken, and I'm really interested in reading Seabiscuit. I enjoyed that movie. I enjoy horse stuff. So, and then of course Emily Henry, and then just a variety of books there. And then we're coming down. So this one, an anonymous girl I have facing front because it doesn't have a spine, and so that way I know what it is. And then down there again, just a assortment. So I read a few of them, but not most of them. The Outsiders, of course, is a classic. Really love that. Then we have Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, which I need to get to. I think I'll love that. Again, just an assortment, some classics, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, another autistic rep. Verity by Colleen Hoover. I have 3 books, not an author I think I'm going to enjoy, but Verity is the one that I think I might be okay with. So I did keep that one and unhauled the other 2. And then we have, again, just a variety of books under there. So there's that shelf. I'm going to move all this back. Now, this next shelf does not go into the alphabetical order of things. So this is just like my nostalgia shelf and my collections of things shelf. So of course we have Nora Roberts up top. This second one, I have the Meant to Be series in front of my Nora Roberts books, but behind that is more Nora Roberts. And the only book I read from Meant to Be is If the Shoe Fits so far, but I'm very excited for all the others. And then we have a third shelf of Nora Roberts, and then just some rocks and some little wooden skunks and a little wooden train there. So that's fun. Then coming down, we have some Twisted Tale books. So there's 4 back behind there, and then this one's just up front. Then we have The Priory of the Orange Tree, A Day of Fall Night. I still need to read Among the Burning Flowers. I got it when it first came out, and I still haven't touched it. Dunkton Wood, my husband got for me as a joke, and absolutely loved it. And so for this past Christmas, I wanted the next 2, so we got those, because I still get comments on the video where I talked about Dunkton Wood about the other 2 books. So we did get those, and we're actually going to read those together. I just wanted to wait till it cooled off to start those. And so then we have my Tigers series, which I absolutely love. Again, one of the books my husband got me for Bookmas one year, and absolutely fell in love with the series. These two, she revived the series recently in the last 2 years, and I haven't heard anything about the next book coming out this year, which is kind of a disappointment because she just kind of left it hanging. So we'll see. And I came across these at the used bookstore, so I picked them up because I love the other series so much, and this is just a little novella that goes with the original Tiger series there. And then, of course, we have all the Dungeon Crawler Carl books and Operation Bounce House, which didn't love. Then down here we have Harry Potter, The Hunger Games. There's a gap because I'm reading The Sunrise on the Reaping this month, or next month, depends on when I get to it. But coming up, I'm reading that. The Lunar Chronicles, really loved Heartless. That's not part of the Lunar Chronicles, but really enjoyed it. The House of Fur, I really enjoyed as well. And then Instant Karma, I just came across them because I love the other ones. I got that. Have Oregon Trail box sets, which is like a choose your own adventure. I have a video choosing my own adventure with that, so that was fun. And then, of course, the Gregory Maguire, which is Wicked, and the other books in that series. And then I have the volume 1 of Wizard of Oz, which has the first 3 books, I want to say. And then the House of Night series, which I didn't love the first 2 books. I haven't continued, and I'm on the fence whether I want to unhaul those or not. So we'll see. Move those back down. And then down here, we have Outlander series Twilight, and I think it's The Host by that same author, The Inheritance Cycle, and then City of Bones, the Mortal Instrument books right there. I just have that first set. I haven't gotten any of the other books yet. So there is that. We're going to skip over this shelf for now. We'll come back to it in a second. And we're going to come over here. So we have my little Lego bunny. So if you're new or you didn't know, my channel name, I'm actually a rabbit in the Chinese zodiac. And so my channel name is a rabbit spelled backwards. So that's where it comes from. And so I like little rabbits and such. And then I've had these since I was a kid, the Bobbsey twin books. And I recently found this one up here, so I just added it. Love A Pinch of Magic, and I read the second book. I still need to read the other two. We read A Pinch of Magic for Allison on a book break. Her channel Buddy Reads, I believe is where we read that one. Absolutely loved it. Alex E. Haro, have read all those, loved it. Hell's Library, I really love the series. Each book was 4 stars, but it's like a favorite series of all time for sure. I haven't read the India Holton books yet, but I'm excited to get to them. I still need to read The Midnight Train by Matt Haig, but I've read the other books. I have the 3rd book in this Christmas series for this Christmas, and then of course T. Kingfisher, absolutely love. I have Hemlock and Silver coming. I listened to that recently. And then, of course, Daggerbound comes out. So I'll definitely need to make more room up here for those, and I'll figure that out. And then we have the Illuminae Files, which I haven't read yet, and then just a couple of classics up there. This top shelf here is just a bunch of Kristen Hanna. The only one I've read is The Great Alone, but I've just been collecting her for whatever reason. And so I have a bunch of her, The Nightingales Out Front, this cute Coyote N book, which was a really fun read. And then a couple more Kristen Hanna there. And then Women in Science, that was a really fun book, great for middle graders. And then Sherlock Holmes and a few other books over here, including A Discovery of Witches. So we have those. And just go back. And then down here, we have a bunch of books. The only one I've read is Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro, but I really love that one. I'm excited to get to the Isabella Banez books. And this one I love the cover of, The Devil Takes You Home. I'm hoping to get to that in October. We have Dangerous Minds up here, which I love that movie. I'm excited to read that at some point. Of course, Ray Bearer and Redemptor by Jordan Ufleco. Really enjoyed that one. The Snow Child, is a slow-paced book, but it's so good. And then just a couple of other books. And yeah, some Pam Jenoff and a variety of books there. So there is that one. Let's get down. You can see these ones. So This Dark Descent was gifted to me by Mariana, and I absolutely loved it. Read it twice. And then read Our Deadly Designs, which didn't love as much, but has like Jewish mythology and like golems and such. So it's a really fun series. Then over here, we have Stephen Graham Jones and several other different types of books. And so, yeah, we have a classic with 3 Men in a Boat, which I have not read, but excited to get to. Not Quite Dead Yet. I absolutely love that. That was my first Holly Jackson book. And then I came across A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and the rest of the series, the trilogy, at one thrift store. And I happened to, on the same day, come across the novella at a different thrift store. So that was really great. And then over here, 640 to Montreal, I'm very excited to read at some point. Some Abby Jimenez, which I haven't read yet, but I think I will love, and some Lisa Jewell. So there are those books there. Put those back. Then we have the Fallen Gods series. We have God Killer, Sunbringer, and Faithbreaker. Loved all of those. Behind these, let's see here, we have Sue Monk Kidd. I've only read The Secret Life of Bees, but I really loved it. I think I love it. Braiding Sweetgrass, I've read a couple times, really enjoyed that. Bright Young Women was a fun one. And then some more that I have not gotten to yet. We have some R.F. Kuang, which I have not gotten to. I listened to Babel and had mixed feelings on it. Enjoyed the first half, not so much the second half. Notes on Execution was really good. Run was really good. And then the other books I haven't read yet. So there's that shelf. And then coming down here, we have, again, just a variety of books. The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. I do not like it's a duo author. I did not like the writing of that one or another book I read by them, but that's a twin swap, which is right up my alley. So I kept that one and unhauled the other one. The Eyes Are the Best Part was a interesting read. Orphan Monster Spy was a good one. Chasing Sunsets, I have not read Brush on Wings yet, but I like the premise of that one. And then, of course, there's T.J. Klune in The Lives of Puppets hiding up there. We have Guild and As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, on which I'm interested in both of those. And then back behind there, I have read The Historian, but I haven't read The Shadowland, but I'm very interested in it. Salem's Lot is the only Stephen King book I have enjoyed. And then that is the 5 Dean Koontz books I decided to keep. And then just a couple of other books as well there. So just a variety. And then down here, we have like some poetry books off to the side there, and then we have Lisa Kleypas and then Barbara Kingsolvers there as well. Then we're going to go back up, and here I love this duology. It was so unique with the magic system, dealing with like tea and such a good duology. And then back behind there, we just have a variety of books. Year Zero was a really interesting book. I believe I read that for ABC Title Challenge. I'm really interested in trying Mark Lawrence. King of Thorns and Prince of Thorns were my husband, but he wasn't interested in them, and I'm interested in that author. And then I thrifted Red Seas Under Red Skies, and I've been wanting The Lies of Lachlan Lamora for a long time, and so when I thrifted that one, I went ahead and ordered the other two on Pango. And then we have Warcross by Marie Lu, and then the Sky Hunter and Still Striker by the same author. Then we have Lone Women, which I'm hoping to get to this October. I think I'm going to really enjoy that one. This is another one that was just on my shelves from who knows where for years and years since I was a teenager in my and into my early 20s. But it sounds interesting, so I decided to keep it. The first book in the Bergman brothers I enjoyed enough. I want to keep it, and I eventually would like to continue the series, but I'm not like dying to read it. The Glacier I've wanted for a long time, so I'm happy I finally have that, and I'm hoping to get to it soon. Then Christina Lauren. Something Wilder didn't fully love, but I love The True Love Experiment and The Soulmate Equation, and In the Holidays, which I know not a lot of people love that one. And I really need to read Love in Other Words, and then I just have a couple of the other ones as well. And then Meet the Austins by Madeleine L'Engle. I have those books. Then down here, I read The Devil in the White City, and I came across Thunderstruck, nonfiction. Devil in the White City, I enjoyed like half of it, and I learned a lot about Ferris wheels, so there was that. Then back behind there, we have more Madeleine L'Engle, just a random book that I just came across, and then, of course, A Wrinkle in Time is like one of my all-time favorite books. Enjoyed the other two in the original trilogy. Did not love book 4 or 5. And then we have The Giver and other Lois Lowry books. And then Harper Lee. I have 2 copies of Go Set a Watchman because I think the darker copy fits with my copy of To Kill a Mockingbird, even though it's mass market paperback and that one's not. But I love the yellow copy. So I am wanting to get a trade copy of To Kill a Mockingbird, but that will be down the line. Then we have some Jack London. For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn, one of my favorite books that I've read. And the second book is coming, so I'm excited about that. And then again, just a variety of books. I don't think I've read any of these yet, so there is that. Then one of my favorite shelves here, because it has my Elizabeth Lim books. So I have not read this duology yet or Forgery of Fate, but I have read Six Crimson Cranes and The Dragon's Promise, which I loved, and Her Radiant Curse I have not read yet. Anathema I really loved. Harley LaRue was okay. And then just some other books that I'm really interested in getting to as well. And then over here, we have some Ursula K. Le Guin, Theo of Golden. I only gave 3 stars, but it was really impactful. I really liked it. And The Frozen River, similar. Rosemary's Baby and Camilla, I'm really looking forward to reading this October. So there's that. I have read Carmilla before, so that will be a reread, but I want to read Hungerstone. So there's that. Then we have Northwoods, which I'm very excited to get to. And then, of course, the Sangu Mandana books as well, which I'm excited to get to. And then some Alex Michaelides. The People's Act of Love I read for ABC Challenge and really loved it. And The God of the Woods was mixed on, but overall enjoyed it. The Clockmaker's Daughter was really good. And then, of course, I haven't read it yet, but we got Reba, and I love her. So there's that one. Then over here, we have Song of Achilles and some Gabriel Garcia Marquez. There's another one up there as well. Toni Morrison, The Thornbirds, which I read. Green Lights I have not read yet. Jeanette McCurdy, I've read both of those, really enjoyed them. Wild Dark Shore and Once There Were Woes by Charlotte McConaughey, I really enjoyed. And so, yeah, there's those. Okay, I'm going to finish up the shelf and then take a little break, and I will come back to show you the other ones. We have The Road, which, again, mixed feelings, but overall really enjoyed. I just love the cover of this one. I haven't read it yet. And The Ravens is like a dark academia one. And then back behind there, we have Tahira Mafi, a couple of those books. Obviously, Shatter Me is popular, and the other one's like a middle grade series. Emily St. John Mandel, I haven't read any of those yet, but I am excited to try her. Some thrillers, and then we have Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellors, which I wanted. Blue Sisters, which is over here. I really wanted that one. But I came across Cleopatra and Frankenstein, so snagged it. And then I recently, on a Pango order, got Blue Sisters. Of course, we have Sylvia Moreno Garcia, which I have read, Gods of Jade and Shadow, and I've read The Bewitching, but I haven't gotten to Mexican Gothic yet. And then again, just a variety of books down there. And then down here, we have A Field Guide to Mermaids, which is a really fun one. It's basically, it's like an like a nonfiction ecology book, but it's like if mermaids were real and like the different environments they would live in and such. The Giver of the Stars by Jojo Moyes. I read The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek and The Bookwoman's Daughter, which is about like the Kentucky Pack Horse Library women, and that one's about that same thing, and so I'm wanting to give that one a try. And Weird is Beautiful is about octopus or octopi. Then we have Larry McMurtry books down there, Juliet Marillier down there, and then just again a couple of other random books that are down there. There's that one, and then over here we have The Soul of an Octopus, which was fun to read. Some like World War II about Jewish and the Holocaust and such, and then Never Cry Wolf was a really good one. Nonfiction about his time with wolves. So that was fun to read. So yeah, just a variety of books. And anyway, after that, we have 2 more shelves. And the 2 little shelves and then the other room. So I'm going to go eat dinner, and then for you guys, I'll be just a second. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and we're on the last 2 sets of big bookcases. Then we got 2 little ones in here before we move to the next room. This little guy right here is named Ralphie, and this is a toy, like my first Christmas present. I was born in September, and I got this little guy for my first Christmas. And my first word was actually Ralph, which was fun because at the time, like I was born in California, and then we moved to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, and that's where we were living. And my Truth or Consequences was originally Hot Springs, and then there was that game show, and so the host of that game show at the time came and did like a parade and such, and I was in the crowd saying, Ralph, Ralph, and he waved at me because I was saying it. And one of my favorite memories with my sisters, you can tell like he's missing his nose, but it's been sewn up. He's missing an ear. His tail's gone, and it was sewed up. Because my mom had a German Shepherd, and he got a hold of Ralphie. And my favorite memory is my sisters actually. I was so upset, and they told me it was okay, and they tried to repair him. So that's one of my favorite memories with them. Excuse me. Now I got froggies in my throat, so we'll put him down for a second. So on the top of these shelves, I have not read anything by this author, but I've been coming across them in the wild, as they call it. And so I want to start with these two books because they're not part of the big series, and all of these are like later in the series they're part of. So I figure I'll try these, and then if I like them, great. I can try to get the beginning of this series, and if I don't, I can just unhaul the whole set. Didn't love was this the Skull lesson one of the Skullomance series by Naomi Novik. I didn't love the series, but it was just so unique that I did really enjoy it. Same thing with Spinning Silver. I had some issues with it, but I liked the overall premise. I have not read Uprooted yet though. And then we got Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've only read Daisy Jones and the Six, but really enjoyed it. Sarah Penner, like her historical timelines, struggle a little bit with her current day timelines, but I've enjoyed all of these. I haven't read Rainbow Rowell yet, but I'm very interested, and so I have some of those books. Got this one when I did a Pingo order, and I have read A Study in Drowning. Again, didn't fully love it, but really enjoyed it. Came across this at Walmart when we were grocery shopping, and then we picked it up and realized there was a second book. So I got the second book. I do want to read this autumn/winter. I think it will lend really well for that. And then we got some Laini Taylor, which I haven't read yet, and of course J.R.R. Tolkien. Then down here we only have two of the books because the third book is waiting to be read in the next month or so. But really enjoyed Kingdom of the Cursed and Kingdom of the Wicked. And then we have Frida McFadden. Only read The Housemaid so far. I didn't love it, I'm not gonna lie, but it was a quick, fun read. And so for now, I'm gonna keep the others. Somebody locally gets these and then donates them to the thrift store, so I've just been picking them up, and they are really quick and fun. So for now, I'm gonna keep them, and we'll just see. And then we have, of course, this series by, can't remember the first name of the author, but Mahurin. Want to read It Rides a Pale Horse by Annie Marino in October, hopefully. This one, I do follow this creator. She actually has a YouTube channel, Selena Spooky Boo. And I was really interested in this book, and I actually came across in the bigger city this art, which I was surprised by, so I picked that up. Red, Red, Right, and Royal Boo, but not I Kiss Shara Willer by Casey McQuiston. And then another romance. I didn't have those up right, but that's okay. And then just a couple other books. Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. I haven't read yet, but I'm really interested in. And then just a variety of books here. Spending Holidays with People I Want to Punch in the Throat by Jen Mann. I read that last Christmas, and it was a lot of fun. So let me pick up these books real quick. Okay, they're back where they need to be. Then the next shelf down, I like the representation. This is Donna Canava. The Truth According to Ember was her debut. And then I read Love is a War Song. And there's a third book that's coming that it's already out or it's coming that I'm really interested in as well. Like the representation, didn't love things about each book, but am really interested in that. And then I found these in Tucson, a couple of Dolly books, and I thought they were so cute. So they're up there as well. Then we have just, again, a variety. I have read Thistlefoot, but I haven't read anything else on the, and Secrets of the Lost Summer, and The Mountain and the Sea. But I read 3 books from this stack. And yeah, just a variety of books there. Like I said, now they're by author's last name instead of genre, so it's just kind of a mixed bag. And then we got, of course, Sabriel up there, and then the other two by Garth Nix. Gothicana I enjoyed. Haven't read Sleeping Giants yet, but I'm excited to get to it. Didn't love, but I found it very impactful. Born a Crime. Velvet Jean Learns to Drive was a surprising one. I really did enjoy that one. And then just, like I said, a variety of others. I want to reread The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. I had a really good time with that one. And it's been a couple years, so I do want to reread that one. Then we come down and we have the Baby Dragon Cafe and Bakery and Bookshop. I love the covers of these. I'm not sure if they're going to quite be my thing, but I'm excited to give them a go, and I just love the way they look. So let's go ahead and scoop those up. Then over here, again, just a mix. The September House, I had a really good time with that one. Born Country, my mom was a big Alabama fan, and I kind of grew up on Alabama, so I'm excited to read that when I can get to it. Where the Crawdads Sing had a good time. War Girls was a really good book. I haven't gotten to Wandering Stars yet. I really need to, but I love They're There. And then I read A Child Called It and the Others in my teens, and just absolutely heartbreaking. I never read The Privilege of Youth. We didn't have that one. We had all the other three, though. I Am Not Your Eve was interesting, and then just another book I picked up that I found it. I thought it would. I cannot talk. I thought it would be something I would enjoy. It looked interesting. And then just a variety of other books. I haven't read any of these yet except Songs of the Gorilla Nation, which is has autism representation. The author's autistic. Wonder is a great book. I haven't read Augie and Me yet. And then I read The Dead Romantics, but the rest of these I have not read yet. So there's that. And put the baby dragon back up. So cute. I really think I might enjoy these because I do enjoy cozy, so we'll just have to see. The Bookshop's my favorite of the three, I think, because I like the pinks and the blues together. Then down here, I came across Seafire at a thrift store ages ago, and I really do want to try it, and so hopefully I can get to that soon, but I haven't picked up the rest of the series yet because I don't know if I'll like it. And then, of course, I have the first book in the Zodiac Academy. I'm not going to pick up any of the others until I give it a go and see if I like it. And then a fun little autumn book, Let's Give Them Pumpkin to Talk About. I love the title of that. It makes me think of the song. So there's that. Coming back over here, Tales of Mystery and Madness is a fun one based on Edgar Allan Poe with beautiful illustrations. Haven't read Wilder Girls yet. James Patterson, I am not a fan of him, but I did like Zoo. I just don't like. It's okay on the ones where, like, on Kingdom of the Wicked, where it says James Patterson Presents, but it's in small font. But the ones where he's like, his name's really big and it makes you think he's the one that wrote it and then it's not. I'm not a fan of how he does that, or the publishers do that, or whatnot. So, but I did enjoy Zoo. I never finished it, I don't think. But I really like the concept of it, and that's a fun one. And Grave Witch was really good. Again, another one I just had, but I have read and I really enjoyed it. Some Christopher Pike, and just a variety of books I've picked up along the way. This one, Love Kaikei and Run Rose Run was a fun one. It wasn't well written, but it was fun, and I had a good time with it. And other than that, I haven't read anything else on this shelf, but definitely excited to read some of all of them. Seem interesting to me, but some obviously more exciting to me than others. So there is that one. Goes back and move on down. So on this shelf, Mary Roach is an author I'm really very interested in reading. The used bookstore down in the bigger city had these two and a couple others. I think they had Bonk, but I'm not as interested in that one. So I got these two, which I'm really interested in reading it. And then behind there, we have just a few over there. That's just a variety. And then we have Spencer Quinn. Dog on it follows this German Shepherd, and it's all from his point of view, which is really fun. And then Rough versus Fluff, Paws versus Claws, and Bark versus Snark is like a middle grade series, which is fun. And then I have some of the Bridgerton books there. Pam Muniz Ryan, really great author. If you're looking for like I think it's World War II middle grade, Echo is a fantastic book. Really enjoyed Paint the Wind and haven't read Esperanza Rising yet. The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. There we go. Again, another fantastic book. I wasn't expecting much from it going in, and then I read it and it was so impactful and it like just ripped me apart. Absolutely loved it. There's a lot of depth to that book. And then again, just a variety. The Five is a great nonfiction, and it's about the victims of Jack the Ripper, which I really enjoyed the focus on them and not him. And it was a really interesting read as well. So there's that. Then we come down all the way to the bottom, and we have Geneva Rose, a couple of her books, and then again, just a variety down there. My Dark Vanessa, If You Can Handle the Subject Matter, is a fantastically written book. The Book of Elsewhere was really interesting. The Book Woman of Troublesome Creek, fantastic book, and I really enjoyed The Book Woman's Daughter as well. Then we have some Ransom Riggs, Laundry Love. Becca Books and Bujo actually talked about this on her channel, and then I found it at a thrift store and picked it up. So looking forward to reading that at some point. Lucinda Riley, I've only read The Orchid House, really loved it, and so when I came across the other two books, picked them up, and then just, like I said, a couple other books down there as well. So there's that. Then we're going to go back up. And here is Anatomy, A Love Story, and Immortality, which I haven't read yet. Very excited to get to those at some point, hopefully soon. These two were actually on my husband's shelf, and he didn't want them. And so I was actually going to put them on eBay, and then when I was photographing them, I was like, this actually sounds really interesting. And this one is absolutely beautiful, has this beautiful naked hardcover, and it's like a mermaid fantasy book. So I'm keeping these, and there is a third book that I'll have to pick up if I enjoy them. Then we have some Francine Rivers, which I haven't tried yet. I'm most excited for The Priest. It sounds really interesting. I saw somebody talking about this and got it from Pingo when I was doing a different order. The Honey Witch I haven't read yet, but I'm very excited to. These three I came across, and I'm excited to read those as well. Haven't read The Obsession. Behooved was a fun one. I know not everybody has loved it, but I had a great time with it. And then just a couple others there. Then we have Ruta Sepetis, which I love, Salt to the Sea, and I haven't read the other two yet. The Christmas Guest I read, some more Christmas books which I've read. The Knock 'Em Out series was a fun time, and then just, again, a few others there. So there is those. All right, and then coming down, we have A Love Letter to Whiskey, which I really want to read, but I'm also like, I think it's gonna be heartbreaking, so I haven't gotten to that yet. Same thing with Archer's Voice, been on my TBR for a while. Came across this one, Heart of the Sun, which I think I'm gonna enjoy, and then The Rose Bargain. I'm hoping to get to that one in September, and then pick up the second book for my birthday as well. So there are those four. Recently got The Bandit Queens. I love the cover for that one, and then again, just a variety of books. The only one I have read is Riley Sager, the only one left. The Tale of Genji is a classic I really want to get to. And then Uncle Tom's Cabin. Recently found The Cartographers. This is actually an art copy, but I wanted to read this for a while, so I'm excited to have it. Just a random scary story book. And yeah, and then just, again, more variety down there. Some classics, some dark romance, literary, like, there's just all kinds of books in this stack. So there's that one. Okay, and now we're on to the next shelf. So we have a couple of Rebecca Searle, which I've heard mixed things, but I think I'm going to enjoy these. The premise sounds interesting. And then, of course, Flawless by Elsie Silver. I want to try this first, make sure it's for me before I dive in and try to get the rest of the series. Some memoirs, which I enjoyed, some Danielle Still. These are the ones I chose to keep. Anything kind of horse related, I'm in. My husband talked me into keeping this one. It's like a boarding school for magic. I don't know, we'll see. And then this was one of his books that I did want to keep and give a try. Sadie, such a great book by Courtney Summers. Hungry, he got me for Christmas, and I actually really enjoyed it overall. So there's that one. Have a bunch of Lisa C that I haven't read yet, but I definitely am interested in. Lost and Found is one I've had since my teens, early 20s. I've read it multiple times. It deals a lot with grief. I really love it. And yeah, then just a variety of books. I read these two and these two. Christina, an autistic reader, used to do like, had a Discord for reading books by autistic authors, and that's where I got those two and enjoyed both of those. So that is that shelf. Okay, and next shelf down we have Apple Blossom the Possum, which is just a cute book I came across, and I think I love animal books, so it's a middle grade. I think I'm going to really love it. And then of course the Sunbearer Trials, which the first book had a lot of editing issues and mistakes, but I really liked the plot overall. The second one definitely let me down, but really good representation in there. So there's that. And then again, some autistic from that when Christina and an autistic reader did. I have not read these two though. I wasn't able to get two of those the month we read them. Some Robert Louis Stevenson. This series is the one I'm really interested in trying. And so I have those books there. Simone St. James, I read one book by her, didn't love it, but I already had this book, so I am interested in trying it. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Of Mice and Men, some more Danielle Steele, some more classics. My grandma gave me these two books. These were her favorite by this author, so I have those. And yeah, just a couple other mass markets. These ones I tried to read last summer, didn't get to them, and I doubt I'm going to get to them this summer. This one it's based on the true story of Mary Ingalls, and I enjoyed it overall, so I'm keeping it for now. So I have that one as well. All right. Moving down, we have The Backyard Bird Chronicles by Amy Tan, which I'm excited to read. The Proper Care of Tarantulas. I love watching tarantula videos, and I've learned a lot from them, and I just came across this book and I couldn't resist. And then we read The Butcher and the Wren for my family book club and had a good time with it. I have the second one, and I plan on getting the third one in August. I think the paperback comes out. I think the hardback's already out, or maybe I'm getting that wrong and it comes out in August. I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna get the third one and have that as well. So I'm really interested where it left off in the second one to see what it does. So move those down here. We have, I need to redo this because I actually have the second book, the second K. Tucker book, and then the little novella, holiday novella that goes along with it that I'll need to put in here. So I do need to kind of redo this. I loved For the Wolf and For the Throne by Hannah Witten. Those were really good. And then we have some Paul Tremblay and Amy Tan, which spans over here as well. Again, haven't read Amy Tan, but I think it's going to be an author I'm going to really enjoy. So I've just kind of been collecting them. I did unhaul The Secret History by Donna Tartt, but I do still have the Goldfinch because I want to try that. It sounds interesting to me. Inkblood Sister Scribe enjoyed. Dust was a surprising one. My husband got it for me for one of my 24 Days of Bookmas, and it's like zombies, and I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, and I actually really did enjoy it. So The Lost Book of Moses is a nonfiction that reads like a fiction and was really interesting, and had a great time with that as well. So that's the shelf. Coming down, we have a couple of vampire books by the same author there. What is it? MJ Trow. One just vampires in general, the history of them, and then one about Vlad the Impaler. So excited to read those at some point. Then we have, sorry, my shadow there. The World Walk is one I'm really interested in. I did read that Alex Trebek memoir, which was very interesting. And yeah, just some other books there. Anna Karenina's hidden under there. Over here, I'm really interested in reading The Girl Who Circumvented Fairyland on a Ship of Her Own Making. Remarkably Bright Creatures, love that book. I recently watched the movie, which really enjoyed that as well. A Duggar book, H.G. Wells, Do Zombies Dream of Undead Sheep was so good. It's nonfiction about kind of neuroscience based on what's happening in the brain based on zombies. So that's fun. And then have some Christmas books under there as well. And then just a couple pictures of Dorian Gray. It's all mental. And then some more H.G. Wells over there as well. Give me a moment and we'll get to the little bookshelves. All right, we're at the little bookshelf behind the couch. Sorry, I just grabbed the microphone. And of course, my Monday Musings signs up there. And so this top shelf, so this is not alphabetical at all. These are just like some of my favorites or collections of series or authors that I have. So up front, we have The Prison Healer. This has one of the best male-female friendships. And I love that the author didn't like try to make it like a love triangle or anything. And it was so good. It's one of my favorite parts of the series, and I just had a fantastic. I read The Prison Healer, and then it took me ages before I picked up the second one, and then immediately I wasn't planning on it, but immediately I read the third one. I had such a great time with it. So that's those three. Behind them, kind of heavy. Behind them, we have All My Throne of Glass, and I actually really love that I have the variety. So the first three books are the original covers. Then we have the next three in the UK original covers, and then the last two are in the new covers. And I actually kind of like that I have all the representations. Hecate Peg is one of my all-time favorite books. When I was in elementary school, every time I go to the library, it's a picture book. I would check it out, and still today, like the artwork is stunning, and I still like revisiting that. Where the Wild Things by Maurice Sendak was one of my favorites as a child as well, so they're in here. Then we have all my Trisha Levenseller, who I absolutely love. Like, I've enjoyed all these books so much. And then Phantasma and Enchantra are down over there as well. Really enjoyed those. And I'm looking forward to when the third book comes out. Hey, Hecate. I love that story. It's about this witch and these 7 children, and their mom goes to the market, and this witch shows up and then turns them all into food, and the mom has to guess which child is which food. It's just a fun book. Then down here we have Daughter of the Moon Goddess and Heart of the Sun Warrior. We have my Laura Thalassis books. I haven't read these two, but read the Four Horsemen series. Really love that. The Enchanted Forest Chronicles, my husband got for me when we were dating, and I've read it a couple times, and I absolutely love it. Back behind here, we have V.E. Schwab and then Maggie Stiefvater. So that's just kind of that collection. And then we have Stuart Turton behind Laura Thalassis there, which you can see The Devil in the Dark Water, The Last Murder at the End of the World, and The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Then we have Kate Quinn, and then we have Rebecca Roanhorse back there as well. Love that Between Earth and Sky trilogy. Really enjoyed that one. Then let's see if we can get down here. So I'm not going to pull them back, but behind these ones is the Keeper of the Lost City books. I don't have 9.5 or 10, but I have all the rest. And then I also have the Death Note mangas back there as well. And the I Survive series. We have The Little Prince right here as well. The Mysterious Benedict Society, and then this graphic novel series, and the other just graphic novel by this same author. And then, of course, Neil Schusterman. I loved Scythe and the rest of those books. So give me another second and I'll get to the other shelf. All right. So up top here we have all my bookmarks, which are fun. Move this. So this is so when I did the tarot readathon, I mentioned that I have this book that goes with my tarot deck, which is by Yoshi Yoshitani, based on different myths, mythology, folklore, and fairy tales all around the world. And this is the book that goes along with it, and actually has like the myths and the legends and such inside it. So I love that. I love my tarot deck. So there's that. Then we have Charlie Mackesy, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, and then the second book following that, and then just a couple of gold and silver poetry books. This was funny because I found this one and it's kind of damaged. I don't know if you can see the spine there and such, but I picked it up. I thought it was pretty, and I picked it up, Wings of Silver, and then this was in the closet when we cleaned out the other room. This was in the closet, so I don't know where it came from, but it's Apples of Gold, and it fits perfectly together with that. I don't know if it is by the same author, so that's kind of weird that I already had this one hidden away, so it was probably like my mom's or something, and then I found that one. It's kind of interesting. Then I just have an old reading journal, my oracle deck, playing cards, and my tarot cards will come back in here and be on the stack. And then we have Letters from Father Christmas by J.R. Tolkien, which is a really, really fun Christmas book. Then we have some Kristen White. I loved Hyde. I know not a lot of people loved it, but I did. And I haven't read Mr. Magic yet, but I'm excited to get to it. Some nonfiction here with Jeanette Walls that I'm excited to get to. Let's see if I can just move that. And then just a variety of books back there. That we have Ruth Ware, Tia Williams, Lisa Wingate, and Penelope Williamson, which is a Western, which I'm excited to read. The more Ruth Ware, and then just some random books, including Colson Whitehead, The Underground Railroad, which I'm excited to get to. Then we have, again, just a variety of books. Alice Walker, The Color Purple, absolutely love. And then I recently got Living by the Word, which is essays by Alice Walker. And then The Bridges of Madison County, and the one that goes along with that. And then, see if I can get it back here. And then back here, we have some thrillers. Gollum and the Ginny was so good by Helene Wecker. Such a good book. I haven't read Hidden Palace yet, but I definitely want to. And the third book's comes out this year as well. And then we have River Monsters by Jeremy Wade, which I absolutely love that show. That was one of my favorite shows, and I watched it all the time. Then let's see here. Down here, we have Crying in H Mart, which I'm excited to read. I recently picked that one up. Some Gabrielle Zalvin, some of her lesser known books, but the story life of AJ Fickery, I'm excited. I've heard people talk about that one, so I'm excited. Some Bryn Weaver, Frances White, not quite my genre, but I did enjoy it overall, and I have her new book that I'm excited about. Of course, Andy Ware, love The Martian, Project Hail Mary, listen to the audiobook 100%. Okay, it's got some Betty White, and again, just a variety of books back there that I'm excited to read. An Oprah Winfrey, spiritual book. Harper L. Woods. W.M. Paul Young. Loved Eve. The Shack I really enjoyed. I haven't read Crossroads yet, but I'm excited for it. I just read instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon, and so I'm really excited now to try these two. I need to read I Am Malala. I haven't gotten to that yet. Watermoon, I had a good time with. A Little Life, I came across it. I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready to read it, but I came across it either in a little free library or really cheap at a thrift store and picked it up. So I have that one. Then the fourth book in the Harper Elwood series, Taurus Season, and then a bunch of Adrian Young back there as well. And then down at the very bottom, we have Rick Riordan. We have the Warrior series. Behind this stack over here, we have the 39 Clues series, so it's back there. And then some animal books. We have Pax, A Wolf Called Wander, A Whale of the Wild, A Horse named Sky, and A Wolf Called Fire. Love the Bunnicula series, so that's over here, and the Wayside School series as well. Okay, just getting tired there. So yeah, down here, An Immense World is a nonfiction. Carlos Ruiz Zafon, I have those books, and then Iron Widow and Silver Flame Like Night. I'm excited to read that one, and Blood Hair by that same author. More Warriors books, and then all the 39 Clues books. Give me a second to put the rest of these books back, and I'm going to take you into the other room. All right. Before we go in the other room, out here is actually just like nostalgic kid books. So I have like the Babysitter's Club, Goosebumps is down there, Matilda, Roald Dahl, some of those, C.S. Lewis. So just a variety of kids' books here. Love The Magic Eye and Where's Waldo from my childhood. We have Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys, Little House on the Prairie, which I found this nonfiction that goes along with it about what the prairie would be like the plants and such. So that's a fun one. My husband, our couple animal is an owl, so we got that one. And I gave him this Dr. Seuss book for his birthday one year. So that's fun. And then Ellen Montgomery and Boxcar Children, and then Dear America books are all the way down there as well. And then these are my unhaul books. So I'm getting rid of a lot of those for sure. Then we come in here, and we're in the spare bedroom. Turn on the light just in case. So this is my first eBay shelf. So this book, when I'm filming this, it's Saturday, and that's got to go out on Monday. And so this is more of like the smaller books, more like fiction and classics and such. So have the leather bound editions right there. And yeah, so those are some of my eBay books. And then we come over here, and we have all my packing stuff here. So there's that, my photography station to take photos of the books. And then we have, these are like reference books and religious books and such. Then behind these ones are cookbooks, and then these are bundles. And then the bottom shelves are bundles as well. So there's that. We have the baby's bed and the bike, and then that, just ignore it. It will eventually go somewhere. This was in the other room, and I moved it over here. Found this when we were cleaning out the closet, and it's so cool. It was my husband's stuff. And then my mother-in-law gave this to me a while ago, and they can't be outside because cats and such. I don't want it to get broken. I thought for now they could just be displayed here, so at least they're not just in a box not being appreciated, and I can enjoy them when I'm in here. So there's that. Then we have, this shelf is what used to be, and the one where the bundles are used to be in the other room, and was just packed full. So my husband put that box up there. I'm not sure what's in it. He said he still needed to go through it or something. So we have his books, Terry Goodkind, Dennis L. McKiernan, R.A. Salvatore, Terry Brooks, some of his just fantasy books there. These Brent Weeks books, again, owls are couple animal. This is his, I don't know where it's from. I tried to read it. I didn't like the first book. He read the first book, started the second book, and hasn't touched it. So, but when I wanted to get rid of him, he wanted to finish the story. So we'll see if he actually does that. Then we have Brian Jacques, Laurel K. Hamilton's in the back there, some Michael Crichton, just a variety of books here. And then we have all the Jim Butcher books, minus the newest one. We'll probably get it, but I want to wait since we have all the others in paperback. I want to wait till it comes out in paperback. The Lycanus trilogy, he's on the second book. Again, hasn't touched it for a while. Something made him mad, and he hasn't touched it. We have Shogun, which he made me read. He does have the second book, but it's in the room somewhere. And then just some historical stuff back there, some more just variety there. And same thing over here, just a variety and collections and such back there. And then Anne Rice. Then we have Irish Johansson. So I have most of those. I need like the newest ones. I haven't gotten those. And then down here we have my Anne McCaffrey books. Behind that I have my Tad Williams books. He has a couple. He has these two. And then I have the Otherland series, which is back there because I'm not going to revisit those anytime soon. So I figured they could go on the bottom and all the way in the back. And then I have one other book that's the first in a series. So, and then we have Magic School Bus and Clifford books. There was an old lady who swallowed a bat and swallowed some leaves. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs, so just some children's books. And behind them are more children's books and such. And then this shelf are my horse books. So I have a lot of like vintage horse books and dog books in the very back. And then up front, we just have a variety of different horse series, or in the middle there that you can kind of see. Then we have my Thoroughbred books and my Heartland books, which of course I've read all of those. And I have the third book in the Chestnut Hill series, which is like a spin-off of the Heartland books. And then just some more like packing stuff down there. Those are more like boxes and such if I need them. And I don't really use that too often. So yeah, let me get back in the other room and we'll wrap this video up. All right, we have Nina's with us now. She wanted to come in. She's like, why wasn't I in here this whole time? So now she's she's joining us. And yeah, so that is the tour. Those are all my books. I do have like some dog training books and such out in the living room, but I don't have those in my my spreadsheet or anything like that. But past that, like the books you saw are the books you saw. My husband has, like I said, two of his books are in the bedroom, and then I did give him that S books by J.J. Abrams, and it's in the bedroom as well. So that's the only other one that's you didn't quite see. And yeah, I just have two books coming still, which is The Rebel Witch, and the Hemlock and Silver, which I just listened to. And the author happened to have The Rebel Witch, and since I have the first one, and I very much am interested in that series, I went ahead and ordered that. And then I will be doing, getting some books for my birthday in September, the new Carissa Broadbent book, and I forget what else is coming out that I'll be getting, but those, like, I know ahead of time. So yeah, that's my collection. I know it's a lot. I still need to update my spreadsheet, take out the books I unhauled. Like I said, I unhauled 213 of those. That's how many are in the boxes there. And so yeah, I need to take those out of the spreadsheet, add some of the ones that I got recently into the spreadsheet. And so I don't know, and I probably won't do that before this video uploads, but I know I was closing in on 3,000 books. So, and that includes my husband's books. Like, it's not just all, and that includes all the children's books. So like the Clifford book, that's a big stat. So yeah, it's a lot of books, but like I said, my goal is to collect and have a big library. Obviously, at this point, I'm to the point where basically I'm maxed on space. So now I'm going to have to be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but a little bit more choosy about the books I'm bringing in. And obviously, as I read books, like I'll be unhauling some. And so that's part of it too. But yeah, that's the library tour. I'd love to know your thoughts, like, and I'd love to know like what your library is like. Do you do it by genre? Do you do it alphabetically? Do you do it by like hardcovers together and then paperbacks together? Like, what's your setup? Because I did do it by genre before, but now at this point, there's so many books that I thought it was just easier to, if I'm looking for an A author, I know exactly where to go, and I think it's going to be a little bit easier to access the books, and even the ones that are like double stacked, it's easy enough to um, slide them off, and I know where they're at, so I know where to go and which books to move and such. But yeah, let me know your thoughts below and how your library is set up. I'd love to know that. If you just want to let me know you're here and you stay till the end, because I know this is a very, very long video, of course, leave a rabbit or any type of animal emoji. I would love to see the rabbits down there, though, since, my little Lego rabbit, and um, that's what my channel name is based on. So if you got that little reference, and let me know that down in the comments below by leaving a rabbit. But if you just want to let me know you're here, feel free to leave any type of emoji. I just like seeing that and knowing that people stay till the end. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys here. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.